Yeah, they gotta have a fairy, right? Because it's gotta cover dark types. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Wait, what? They went straight for body slam? Okay. Why did they go straight body slam? I don't have a shield. Maybe they have wild charge on this, which is like, I know it's a community day move, but it's actually not good. I think we swap here if we can. If not, I throw. Wait, what? They have Mega Horn. I'm even more confused. Oh, they have a move. That's not good. Do I live a V create? Is the real question. Oh my gosh, we do it. Rank 1 Slowbro, baby. Just face a Hoopa. Yeah, that thing kind of chunks with Astonish. Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I personally have taken a small break from GBL for the past week, so didn't play a ton just because there are a lot of kind of in-game bugs and issues, and it was just affecting my gameplay. So got back into it last night, and that's why this video is a little bit on the later end for this meta rotation, but I've been climbing a lot with the Psychic Cup team. I'm actually in the 200 something range on the leaderboard as well at the moment. But it's not even more so about this team, but also how interesting it was in one of my sets, my back-to-back sets, my last 2 sets. I ran into the same hard counter team into my team 6 times. 6 out of 10. That's over half of the games. Same exact team. These are 6 different people. And I was able to find some win conditions. So I think this one of, if there weren't so many game issues, honestly, this would have been a fantastic week because the meta itself is very interesting and everything has a lot of play into everything else, in my opinion. But the team I ran was a Malmar with a Galarian Slowbro and a Claydol. And Claydol, honestly, has never looked better, right? It's gotten buffed like every single season for the most part, but this mud-slap buff really made it shine. I think this video itself is not necessarily just to talk about Psychic Cup, but also about how it doesn't matter if you lose lead, doesn't matter if you lose the counter swap, it doesn't matter if you lose the third matchup. It's not impossible to win these kind of games. You have to persevere, and you have to kind of put on your thinking cap and see what you can do for future iterations whenever you face a team. Now, the good news for me, and the bad news, I guess, is that I faced this team not once, not twice, but 6 times in 10 battles. So I got quite familiar with it and found some interesting ways to beat it. So let's get into the footage. Before we get into the battles, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you'd like private one-on-one coaching, scrims against me, some of my league guides and strategies ahead of time, or even tune into my live stream battles, feel free to sign up through the Patreon link down below. So this is going to be the team that I saw time and time again in 2 sets. It's Galarian Rapidash with a Claydol. Typically that's counter swapping my Slowbro and a Malmar in the back. And this is just a matchup where Slowbro cannot really win alignment. And something I was trying to do is overfarm a little bit on the Claydol and just take it out afterward. I figured the shield is actually pretty important, even though I don't have switch advantage. But I think it's pretty valuable overall because, and I'm going to throw right before they get to the next switch stand. I was at max energy anyway, so it wouldn't even matter even if I could have thrown a little bit later. But this energy still goes pretty far because dark damage is pretty much at least neutral against everything in this cup and sometimes super effective. So I grab a shield back, which is nice. And here's where it gets a little bit interesting because it could be a Mega Horn and they go straight for the Mega Horn. So that's good news for me. However, they have a Malmar in the back. Now, obviously, you know this because you see it on graphic. I didn't know at the time. I think this was one of the first or second times I faced this team in particular. So I wasn't really putting too much thought into it at first, right? Like I said, I faced this team 6 times, but at this moment in time, I didn't realize how popular this team was going to be, especially last night when I was playing it. So this one, unfortunately, couldn't really find the win con, and they even have superpower too, but even without superpower, I would have lost there because I didn't have enough energy. Going to attempt number 2. This is literally the very next battle. I'm not even kidding you, right? And it's like at a certain point, I was like, wait, this looks a little familiar, right? But in my mind, I'm thinking it could be something else. It might not be a Malamar in the back, right? And so this person, similar, throws before the second Brutal Swing. So a lot of it is also me trying to adjust my gameplay. But at this moment in time, you can see I'm playing it pretty much exactly the same. The opponents will sometimes play differently than each other as well, right? Obviously, because they're different people. So you can see I'm doing pretty much the same exact thing. I doubt they're going to shield. I don't get debuffed again, which is nice because a debuff here would mean that I probably had swapped out before throwing this foul play. So they do the exact same thing. And then I'm like getting big deja vu at this point, right? This was literally like 2 minutes ago. I was doing the same exact sequence. I'm going to go straight for the Scorching Sands. Again, if you get a debuff, it's nice. And also like, they're probably not going to shield. This player, yeah, she chose not to shield the first one, which honestly is probably even smarter than what the last person did. I think the last person actually shielded, but it didn't matter either way. Yeah, there's just no way, right? I can't win this because I can't even beat the Malamar, let alone the Rapidash. Now, we're going to take a little breather here. We're going to try Chimecho. Obviously, it's a positive matchup. And let me tell you, too, in these two sets, right, you're thinking, all right, you got hard counted 6 times, 6 out of 10. There's no way you climbed. No, trust me. It's still winnable, right? It doesn't look winnable yet, but the clock is working in my head on how I counteract this. In this situation, though, I have a positive lead, but Chimecho is definitely pretty strong to my backline. So I'm going to shield up here because the moment they don't shield that second foul play, I know I could just cycle cut down. Now they swap in the Galarian Rapidash, and we end up throwing a charge deck priority, which is not ideal. So I think I go for a slight undercharge here. This is only neutral though, and my undercharge might have been a little bit too much. I thought they're still 1 away, but I guess not. So kind of a bad play on my end. So I'm going to get a slight entry lead. I already know it's a Chimecho in the back. So, yeah, not ideal for me. I think there were probably at least 2 misplays just in the last minute on my end. And I think that's another good thing about Psychic Cup is that a lot of these gameplays you can kind of account for. But yeah, so we get to the next foul play, which is quite nice. They have to throw a Shadow Ball here. To take me out. Actually, no, Side Shock should be enough at this range. But I don't think I have enough. They know I have the energy, so I just pause here and expecting them to go for the catch, and they do. But yeah, we're able to get the move off to avoid any catches. So we do find a win condition there despite playing poorly in that middle of the game sequence. Now we face another of the same team. And, in my head, I'm seeing, okay, this is literally the 4th game of the set, and I'm seeing the same sequence. This player, for the most part, is playing similarly as well, throwing the Scorching Sand before I get a second Brutal Swing. So I just switched it up. I said, you know what? If it is really a Malamar in the back, let's try play it differently, see what can happen. And this time, I actually managed to flip switch, which is quite nice. Or they shield. Yeah, they don't shield. So that's really good. We get 2 poison jabs here, which is actually pretty huge. And I'm thinking, all right, it's probably the Malamar in the back. And I'm going to shield because this Mega Horn's going to do more than the foul play. On top of that, I could potentially debuff the Malamar as well. So that'd be really good for me. But at this point in time, I can go to my own Malamar. And that's actually a really lucky debuff there for me because it makes this matchup much better. They can't take me out with just 2 foul plays at this point. Usually the side wave into foul plays is enough to KO the Malamar in the mirror, but in this situation, not the case. So they're going to have to throw extra energy. I'm going to farm up to as much energy as possible here to try to do some damage. And I'm going to throw this move because, again, it's one of those situations where, I need to just burn the Switch Timer a little bit. And hopefully I survive this because I need that Mud Slap damage to land. And it does. It's going to be super close here. And we survived with literally like 1 HP. So I found a win condition. Hard countered. But we did it, right? So obviously flipping switch advantage with the Slowbro was definitely key in that aspect. But we go into Claydol for the final game of this set. And you can see from the time too in the top left that these are just consecutive games. I'm not like cherry picking anything right here. Don't ask me why I'm up so late playing GBL, but that's just a different story. All right, against Claydol, I typically like to just throw the foul play, and usually they shield, and I try to catch a Scorching Sand. Unfortunately, this person didn't actually go for the Scorching Sand right away, so they go for the Shadow Ball, but that's fine. And then I go for the Scorching Sand to try to go for debuff. I probably should have just gone for the Shadow Ball, because for some reason, there's a decent amount of Chimecho that just aren't even shielding, which is kind of nuts to me. I wasn't expecting it myself either, but hey, they did it. I come in Slowbro. I get denied. a fast attack, unfortunately. I'm going to shield up Shadow Ball. I know it's debuff, but at this point in time, I figured there's no way they don't go for Shadow Ball. And I go for the full poison jab down. Oh, yeah. And then this is pretty good for me. So the bait attempt did not work, but ended up not mattering too much anyway. And then I think we go... Yeah, I think I just swapped straight to Malamar to try to get to this move. Yeah, because they have to go for the Trailblaze, I think. Or even if they throw energy, I just get to another move, right? On my Slowbro. So we go 3-2 in that set. Despite getting hard counter 3 out of those times to the same line. So not too bad. I'm climbing a little bit, as you can see. And like I said, I took some time off, so elo maybe not as high as it could be at this point in time, but that's all good. All right, and we face the same team again. Another Rapidash, Claydol. And spoiler, it's going to be a Malamar in the back. So I played it out last time like this, so I'm going to try it again this way and see what happens. And the good part is, I believe I should get to another Brutal Swing if they shield. So I would feel pretty okay about this. I actually get it on good timing as well, which is perfect. So that's really good, all things considered. We grab both shields. We don't win switch, but that's fine because Malamar does a lot of damage to that backline, regardless of what they may have. So I'm going to shield this up and see what they have. We don't get debuff, which is nice. And then they come in the Rapidash. I go straight for the Hyper Beam, which I think is the right play because I don't think Foul Play is enough. And here comes that Malamar. And, you know, I feel okay. So I swap in here thinking that maybe I could force both their Foul Plays and then I outpace the next one. Because I don't think I outpace if they just throw the Foul Play right before. So that was my general thought process. Unfortunately, we came a little bit short. And in hindsight, what I probably should have done is just tanked a Body Slam from the Rapidash or farmed up a little extra. So if they don't throw a Body Slam, that's fine too, right? But if they throw a Body Slam, it's not threatening. So I think I had a win condition there in that one, but I kind of threw out the window, unlike my first 2 losses against that time. So that was my 4th time facing it. This is my 5th time facing the same team. And this is only battle number 7 out of 10. So there's still at least one more, right? Well, there is one more because I said it. All right, so this time around, I grabbed a shield early from them. So I felt like this was worth it to just let it go, right? So you can see I'm playing it a little differently, but it's also because my opponents are also playing it a little bit differently. And then they actually pivot over to the Malamar, which is quite nice for me because I avoid this on my Claydol. And they actually shield, which is good too, because now it's like open Hyper Beam season. Oh, actually, speaking of Hyper Beam, they land a Hyper Beam too. But that's fine actually, because now they don't have much energy, and unfortunately they get to a Foul Play here. I think I let it go. Yeah, I let it go because I figured I don't really want to get hit by a Mega Horn. This is just a Body Slam, but oh no, it's a Mega Horn. It is a Mega Horn. Okay, I wasn't expecting that, but that's fine. I think they locked themselves in at this point, so I'm okay. Yeah, they did. I probably could have gone Scorching Sand at that point in time, but maybe just panicked. And then we get the move off on Charge Attack priority here, which is really, really nice. And I'm going to swap over to my own Malamar to get the fast attack down, and they quit out. So we're 2-3, I think. Another Rapidash with a Claydol in the back. But this third Pokemon is actually not Malamar. To my surprise, I thought it was literally the same thing. I mean, just imagine me, right? I thought I was just going straight through Deja Vu at this point. Just facing the same team back to back to back times in multiple sets. But this player, I think, made some big misplays here, allowing me to get both shields with just the Galarian Slowbro. Which is definitely nice for me. And I figured they probably weren't going to go Shadow Ball on that first one, so I'd end up soaking up the damage with my Claydol. Energy on this Claydol is super nice because it's super effective against, or at least neutral against everything in this meta, as you can see right here. I'm going to swap over to my Malamar as well to catch this move because, again, this energy is not that impactful against me because I just need to land one Hyper Beam and I'm good. This is going to be a Body Slam. Oh, I ended up letting it go. Yeah, I think this is probably the right call because now I could just go for the Mud Slap down. Because Foul Play still does a decent amount. As you can see, it doesn't one-shot like Hyper Beam does, but that's fine. Yeah, and then we get the full fast attack down at this point. So it should be okay. Barely hang on, actually. This is actually a lot closer than I thought it would be. But again, hard counter in the lead and the counter swap. The back end matchup was not as hard counter. I mean, it's kind of counter. It's definitely counter to Claydol for sure, but but not as clear cut as Malamar probably. All right. And again, this is the 6th and I think final time I'm facing this team. We're so far 2-3 into this team, and I think one of my losses could have easily been a win. But we're getting hard counter again. I get debuffed this time around, which is not ideal. However, it doesn't matter too much because I still need to throw 2 Brutal Swings anyway. So I end up still being able to flip switch or grabbing a shield. So let's see if we grab a shield here or not. We do. So that's actually pretty valuable still, even despite the debuff. At this point in time, I'm kind of hoping that this next move actually debuffs me so I get a little bit more farm. That previous debuff didn't matter as much. And I do get debuffed, so get a slightly more farm. I can't really throw the move right here because I'm debuffed. And here comes a Malamar. Alright, we're going to shield this first foul play because it is going to do the most damage, especially if I could potentially get a debuff. I guess it doesn't matter at the end of the day because they need 2 foul play anyway. They can't sidewave me down. We don't get the debuff either, which is what it is. And yeah, this foul play is definitely going to hurt. I throw the Scorching Sand right away because I want to put this Rapidash in like farm down territory, I think. Oh, I go for the combo play actually. Yeah. Oh, I like that a lot. Getting a few must-stops in, foul plays enough to KO, and we win. So hard counter 6 times, we win 3 of them. One of the losses would probably winnable. The first 2, I definitely didn't know what I was really doing. And then we go into our final game, our 10th game. Obviously, this time around, it's not going to be that hard counter line, but that's okay. And we're in a pretty solid position right now. I figured they probably have like a fairy in the back, which is why they swapped out right away. I'm not really sure, but I feel pretty comfortable here. And they know shields. They come in Slowbro. And this is fine because I could just come in Claydol and absorb this energy. And they end up having a Malamar in the back. But it's not too bad because I have a slight energy lead. I still have Slowbro in the back as well. We get debuff too, yeah. And it's pretty much, after the debuff, I think it's pretty much irrelevant because the Sidewave just doesn't do enough damage and the foul play just doesn't put me easily in Sidewave territory, I guess. This is kind of a mistake on my end though, throwing a charge deck priority. I think I go for the full charge though. I don't really want to mess around too much here. Do we get to move? No, not quite. But I think I'm okay here because I still have a shield. So slight misplay on me in the final few decisive moments of this match, but they're pretty much in mud slap territory. There's no way they have 2 back-to-back brutal swings. So we are able to just mud slap down the Slowbro. And that's it. That's my 2 sets. I went 3-2 in the first one, 4-1 the next one. Hard countered 6 times. Should theoretically be a negative set, but it's not. You can see I'm closing out an expert range, and that's what got me to that leaderboard position. You can say whatever you want on like why I face the same team multiple times. It's not really the game doing anything. It's just the meta is very small, and there's a chance that some content creator made this team or someone climbed the leaderboards for this team. I haven't really been paying attention to what other teams people have been running. Just because you get countered doesn't mean you lose. So just an important lesson to take away from this video. Hopefully that was entertaining to watch though, seeing the same team face off against me and me trying to figure out win conditions. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video. And I'll catch you all next time. Peace.